Hello, Brick Sculptors, and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and today we're going to talk about these two pieces again. Now, if you watch my content regularly, you will have seen this video last week where I made stud reversal techniques with just plates and tiles, and it was quite a popular video, and I got some awesome feedback. If you haven't yet watched that video, I'll link it here as well as at the end. I highly recommend watching that first before this one. Now, in the comments, I got some amazing feedback, and I had a lot of people asking about the directions of motions. In this video, I talked about how these pieces can move apart in 6 different directions, which are all limited by the design that you make. And a lot of people said, no, it's actually 5 directions, and a lot of other people said, no, it's actually 3 directions, so I wanted to clear that up in this video. Now, what I was referring to is 6 directions, meaning these two pieces could be pulled apart, pushed together, moved left, right, up, and down. And in this case, this is locked in all but 2 directions. It can move this way, it can move this way. But it can't come apart together, up, or down. Now, when people were referring to 3 different motions, what they were talking about was the 3 degrees of freedom. And the 3 degrees of freedom means that an object can move either up, down, that's 1 degree, left, right, that's 2 degrees, or forward, backward, that's the 3rd degree. Now, when we're dealing with 2 objects, though, these objects are moving independently from each other, so we need to talk about the 6 orthogonal directions. Somebody commented that in the comments, and I had to look it up because I was like, what the heck is that? Now, the word orthogonal means of or involving right angles, or at right angles. That's your vocabulary word of the day. So basically, it's talking about the 6 motions this can make from the center in right angles in relation to each other. Now, let's give some examples here. So let's say we have 2 items. They're very simple like this. Technically, this is a stud reversal, depending on the application you put it in. And these pieces could move in 6 different directions. They could go up, down, or the reverse up, down. They could go forward, backward, or backward, forward. They could go out, and they can go in. Now, in this case, they can't go in because they hit each other. These are locked in 1 direction. And that's where most people who said it's only 5 directions had a problem with this. They said, no, it's only 5 because the objects cannot pass through each other. Well, they're not necessarily right. In most cases, that's true, but there are some examples where it's not true, and I'll show you that at the end. So that is an example of 2 objects locked in only 1 of the 6 orthogonal directions. Now here's another example, just slightly more complicated. I just added 1 more plate on the bottom of each, which will allow this to lock in 2 of the 6 directions. For example, it can go forward, backward, backward, forward. It can go up, down, but the opposite of that is locked. It can also go apart, but when it goes together, it's locked. So this will move in 4 of the 6 orthogonal directions. If we add another level of complexity, and then we do kind of a cleat like this guy's going to be locked in 3 of the 6. You can go forward, backward, backward, forward. You can go apart this way, but locked this way. You can't pull them apart, and you can't push them together. So half of the directions are locked in this example. So that's 3 of the 6. Now if we go 1 step further, this guy is locked in 4 of the 6. So it can't come apart, it can't push together, it can't separate up, down, it can't separate down, up, but it can go forward, backward, and backward, forward. So this is locked in 4 of the 6 directions. And then my personal favorite, the pocket joint, which is locked in 5 of 6 directions. You can't pull them apart, you can't push them together, up, down, up, forward, backward, but not the opposite. So one of the 5 directions is unlocked. I had a lot of people commenting, oh, there's ways to lock all of these in all 6 directions. And that's true. But think about the things you can do if you have something that unlocks in 1 or 2 directions, as far as a sliding in and out, or a play feature, or connecting certain things. This could be a really handy thing to be able to do. And then, of course, we have an example of something locked in all 6 directions. And this example was given to me by a viewer, and I absolutely love this one. It is a stud reversal, and of course doesn't come apart, doesn't go together. Same this way, and same up and down. It is fully locked in all 6 directions. Now back to our original problem, where people said there was only 5 motions because they said these can't be pushed together. And that's true in this case, but let's say we made a stud reversal that looked like this. And it had a plug in it that looked like this. So we can have male studs on both sides. Well, you can't go left-right. You can't go up-down with this central piece, but you can push it fore and aft through both sides. So, although it is rare, you guys are mostly right that 5th direction is not very common, but if one item is able to pass through the other item, it is another direction it can move. So technically, this does fulfill that last and 6th motion. Now you might be saying, well, it's only one direction because it can move either way, but you can make it move only one of those two. If I put plate on one side, now it will go apart, but not through. So it is possible to have only one of those actions available. Well, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you found this informational. Hopefully it clarified some things up. If you have any comments or suggestions or things that maybe I got wrong or things that maybe I want to consider in the future, please leave them below. I try to read all the comments and respond to as many as I can. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm going to do more just like this in the future, and we will see you next time.